We are live. So we are live on Facebook, guys. I hope everybody is having an amazing Tuesday. I'm actually going to be streaming this from my Zoom account. I told you guys that I am super excited about launching my digital wealth vault community, right? This is a community that is created on School. School is a platform where individuals go and they create these communities to help individuals, right? No matter what the topic is. So I'm super excited about my digital wealth vault school community. So you guys are all welcome to join. The first 7 days that you join are actually free. After that, there is a investment of $47. And with that school community, guys, you're going to get a lot. You're going to get me, my guidance. You're going to get other experts. I have experts lined up February, March, and even April ready to teach you guys so much information. All right. So I just want you guys to make sure that, once you get those tax refunds, that you invest that money, right? Invest in yourself. If 2025 did not look like what you wanted it to be for your financial future, I want you guys to make sure you get inside the digital wealth vault. All right. This is for anybody, whether you are working a 9 to 5, if you have a side hustle, if you are a current business owner, right? And you're looking ways to grow your business, right? If you want to invest more into your financial future, build wealth for your children, right? So that's what we're on in 2026. So if that's what you're on, make sure that you get inside the digital wealth vault and share this information with somebody. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen so that I can get started with my presentation tonight. As you guys know, my name is Dr. Ambrea Lacy, and I'm the owner of iTax Solutions, iTax Institute, and founder of the Digital Wealth Vault community. Now, what I'm going to be going over tonight are the tax law updates for the One Big Beautiful Bill. All right. And so before you file your taxes, if you haven't already filed your taxes, right, a lot of this stuff is going into effect for, the tax season that we're filing for now, and will continue, some permanently, some throughout 2028, different things. All right. So I'm going to go more into detail on those things. But for now, I am going to go ahead and begin sharing my screen to give you guys some updates, and let's just get into this information. All right, so make sure you guys have something to write with. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen now. I hope that you guys are able to see my entire screen. So, Tony, if you could let me know if you guys can see my entire screen um, for
Yeah, we
the
can see.
okay, and you can still see me as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank y'all so much for y'all's patience. To know me is that, like, no matter what, I'm always so nervous when I do a presentation, or when I get up for speaking events. So thank you guys so much for your patience. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So again, my name is Dr. Ambrea Lacy. This is the One Big Beautiful Bill tax law update. All right. Quick disclaimer before we get started. The information provided in this presentation is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal, tax, financial, or professional advice. You're encouraged to consult with a qualified professional or advisor regarding your specific situation before making decisions on this material. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, before we get started, make sure I have you guys' undivided attention because I want you guys to get the most out of this wealth building strategy session. All right. So pause everything else around you, grab a pen and paper. If you have questions, write them down, save them to the end. All right. Because there's not going to be a replay. Now, if you stay until the end, I want you guys to know that I have a free gift for each and every single one of you. So let's go ahead and get into this. Now, I want you to know that this wealth building strategy session is different from anything else. It's not just another tax update. By the end of this, I want you guys to know how these new laws are going to affect your income, your taxes, and even your lifestyle. All right. Now, don't just take it from me. Other people have join my classes. And those are some of the things that they said about me. Now, briefly, if you're new here, my name is Dr. Ambrea Lacy. I'm led with purpose, not profit. I'm passionate about educating others. I'm a multi seven-figure serial entrepreneur. I have over a decade of experience in the tax industry. I'm the founder of iTax Institute and iTax Solutions, as well as the founder of my new baby, the Digital Wealth Vault School community, which I'm so excited about. I've empowered over 1,000 tax professionals as well as entrepreneurs, and I'm looking to expand that number exponentially in 2026. So y'all got to make sure y'all get into the community. I'm a trusted mentor, motivator, as well as speaker, and I like to simplify things, right? I don't think that finances have to be complicated. So here's just a couple little snapshots from some podcasts and, just some Zoom classes that I've had, master classes that I've done over the last year. So it looks like we have some more people joining into Zoom. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Here are a few organizations that I'm a proud member of. I always make sure that I am increasing my network at all times. And you guys better make sure y'all are doing the exact same thing. So if we're not already following each other on all platforms, make sure you guys are following me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. And I'm going to make sure I follow each and every single one of you back. Now, briefly, our agenda, I'm just going to make this plain and simple about the Big Beautiful Bill Act. All right. There are some things that are important there for individuals as well as business owners. Now, I want you to know that I'm sharing this information because so many people struggle silently. They work hard, they follow the rules, and some people still feel like they get left behind. I have so many taxpayers over the years who feel like, you know what, I work hard, I pay my taxes. I don't understand why I'm still not getting a refund, right? Now, I have my own theories behind that, and I feel like everybody's situation is different. To know me is to also know that I feel like everyone should own a business, right? Owning a business is one of the biggest tax hacks, all right? A lot of you guys do not own businesses, right? Or if you don't have a side hustle, y'all got to get into this for tax purposes, right? And also just to increase your wealth overall, all right? Now, I know a lot of you here may have tried to file your own taxes. Y'all get on TurboTax and y'all are like, okay, you know what? I only got back, $300. Now I want to get a quote from a tax professional. That's cool and all, but TurboTax is not a tax professional. All right. No matter how many different things they come out with, they are not a tax professional. And it's just something about having a educated tax professional that's just going to go hard for you, right? They're going to make sure they ask you those questions. Some of you may have got a cheap tax professional, right? Now, just because somebody's prices are on the lower end, that doesn't mean that they're not educated, right? But I see a lot of people go through CPAs and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, are you a CPA, Ambrea? I'm like, no, I'm not a CPA. But that doesn't mean that I don't have the knowledge. So just make sure if you guys are out there looking for a tax professional that you are also doing your due diligence and asking them questions and not necessarily being blinded by letters, all right, or titles, okay? Because I know a lot of very, very experienced tax pros that even if they are not a CPA or an enrolled agent, right, that they are very, very, very experienced, all right? Also, y'all gotta stop listening to all that stuff on social media, tax hacks and TikTok. I'm not saying everything there is wrong, but some of that stuff is just kind of crazy, kind of bogus. All right. So I want you guys to know that I've helped thousands of taxpayers take advantage of the tax code, and that's what I want to help you guys do today. Some of y'all are leaving so much money on the table, and thousands of dollars, tax dollars, are being unclaimed because guess what? Y'all want to try to take the cheap way out and don't want to be educated. All right. So you lose money once by not knowing this information about the One Big Beautiful Bill tax date updates, and you also lose it again by not paying attention to it and implementing tax saving strategies. All right. So if you don't know these things, this stuff is going to hurt you. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this. What is the One Big Beautiful Bill Act? I know you guys have seen it everywhere over the past year, but it is tax time, so this is more important than ever. All right, these are the final updates. This is what it's looking like. You're hearing directly from a tax professional that is experienced and how this is affecting taxpayers every single day. I'm seeing it, all different income ranges. All right. So, this Big Beautiful Bill was implemented by President Donald Trump. So, I'm going to talk about first the individual tax provisions. All right. Now, tax brackets have changed, right? A lot of people do not know what tax bracket they are in. So, tax brackets shifted this tax season, right? So, if you were in the 12% bracket, now you are actually in the 15% bracket. So, based on your income, you can take a look at these tax brackets, right? After is what we are currently looking at right now. This is what's taking place to see exactly what tax bracket you're in, right? Whether you're in the 10% tax bracket or the 30% tax bracket, right? You want to know exactly where you fall. And I just recently covered going exempt and completing your Form W-4. All right. This is very, very important. Knowing where you fall within your tax bracket, exactly what amount of taxes you need to get withheld. All right. Next, this is very, very important, y'all. If you worked in 2025 and you worked anything in overtime, right? You want to make sure that you are claiming that on your taxes, right? So, this is what's taking place. If you worked overtime in 2025, all right, you can actually deduct a portion of your tips and overtime pay. Now, if your filing status is single, up to $12,500, and if you're married filing joint, up to $25,000. All right. So you have to earn less than $150,000 as a single filer or less than $300,000. Now, this only applies to 2028. So what's important is that when you take a look at your what is it? Your paycheck stub, right? That information will be on there. So make sure that you provide that to your tax professional. I have seen tax refunds increase anywhere from $300 all the way up to over $1,500 just for that. All right. Deducting a portion of your overtime and tips. All right. This is very, very important. So guess what? This is for the middle income people, right? This is to help us out. We're seeing refunds go up every single day for this. Also, if you purchase a home, I'm sorry, if you purchase a vehicle, I get so excited about this stuff. If you purchase a vehicle in 2025, it was made in the US. All right. You can actually deduct your interest that you paid on the loan. So you may be wondering, okay, Ambrea, where do I get that information? Well, a lot of times what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to log into your account that you pay your lender through, right? So let's just say if your auto lender is Capital One, right? You can take a look and you can see exactly how much interest you paid throughout 2025, and you can actually provide that information to your tax professional, and this is actually a deduction. Okay, this is actually a deduction. I don't know why everybody wants to call my phone when I am busy working right now. So again, this is effective until 2028, y'all. So make sure y'all take advantage of this. So if you purchase a vehicle, in 2026, 2027, 2028, right? Make sure y'all deduct this. Also, guess what? The taxes that you pay is also deductible as well. You can deduct that on your taxes. So make sure you guys are taking advantage of that. All right. SALT. This is the state and local taxes, right? This was previously capped at $10,000. Now the new cap is $40,000. You guys have to take advantage of this, right? This helps people to actually increase their tax refund as well. We have seen this actually increase refunds. All right. So here's a quick example. If you earn around $200,000, you paid state income taxes, maybe in the state of California, we know that's expensive, of about $30,000. You're only going to be taxed on the income after you paid that tax. All right. So this is very, very important. You guys have to make sure that y'all are taking advantage of this stuff. Of course, we know that the child tax credit increased as well. This is a big thing a lot of people were talking about all 2025, right? As a tax professional, we are definitely seeing the increase in the tax refunds. All right. So make sure you guys are aware of this information, right? Make sure you're providing your tax professional, with your qualifying dependents information so that you can get this. It increased from $2,000 to $2,200 per child, all right? In my opinion, every little bit helps, right? We're hoping that maybe this will continue to increase every single year. Of course, the standard deduction increased permanently. Single filers, 15,750. Married filing jointly, 31,500. Now, these will continue to increase based on inflation. Now, some taxpayers don't know the difference between the standard deduction, right? Taking the standard deduction and itemizing your deductions, right? So I want you guys to know that if the things that you have to itemize, such as medical and dental, vision expenses, gifts to charity, the taxes you paid, property taxes, mortgage interest. There's so many things that account towards, your itemized deductions. So make sure you guys are itemizing if you qualify. All right, this can increase your refund. Also, a little off topic, but I can't help myself because I'm a tax professional. If you guys have a business and you are hiring your children, right, this is the maximum amount that you can pay your child every single year. So whatever the standard deduction is, if this year it's 15,750, guess what? That's the max that you can pay your child when you hire them to work in your business. The senior deduction, this is new. Individuals that are 65 and up can deduct an additional $6,000. Married seniors can deduct $12,000. And it's only available if their income as a single person is $75,000 or less, or $150,000 married filing joint. All right. So this kind of phases out above those income levels. And again, this is available 2025, 2026, 2027, and 2028. Now, Trump accounts. This is a children's wealth building program that Trump came out with. And so it's so crazy because the other day, I was putting this presentation together and I did not realize that the form number, which the form is 4547, right? I have so many tax forms in my head and like it came to me. And so I was like, oh, wow. I was like, he's funny for this. But anyways, y'all want to think about this. All right. Now, a lot of people's misconception about this is that this is only for children that are born between 2025 and 2028. So if your child was born January 1st, 2025, up until December 31st, 2028, your child can actually receive a $1,000 Treasury funded savings account when they're born. Now, what's happening is that this is not going to actually go into effect until July. All right. Parents can actually contribute up to $5,000 per year. These funds can be, used for education, home purchase, or starting a business. All right. And I'm going to go into these a little bit deeper. I don't want to get off track with this right now. But this is something that I definitely feel like a lot of people are sleeping on. My daughter is 21. I wish I could do something like this for her. But as much as I can educate you guys about this account, that's what I'm going to do. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Let's see. Here's some energy credits starting in 2026 that are going to be eliminated. So if you guys were, if y'all purchased an electric vehicle, make sure you're writing that off on your taxes this year, right? There's some home energy efficient credits, residential clean credits for solar and home improvements, and also some green credits. All right. So make sure if y'all had some things done to your home, like to improve it efficiently, like with energy stuff, make sure y'all are talking to your tax professional about that. All right. Now, this is for my business owners. 100% bonus depreciation, y'all. This is permanent. This is big. If you're a business owner, this is absolutely crazy. As a tax professional, this is absolutely amazing. All right. This is absolutely amazing. So make sure y'all take advantage of this. This is writing off assets like equipment, vehicles, machinery. You can actually write off the full amount of the purchase in the year that you purchased it. All right. So make sure y'all take advantage of that. Also research and development, right? Tax pros. This is something that your tax professional should definitely be educated about. The QBI, a lot of this, what I'm saying is just kind of transferred from prior year tax returns to new tax returns. So you guys want to make sure that you take advantage of the 20% deduction on qualified business income. All right. This is for pass-through entities, sole proprietors, partnerships, S corps, and some trusts. This was actually supposed to expire in 2025, and now it is locked in permanently. All right. So briefly, this is just, how the QBI is calculated. All right. The software does the calculations. I'm not a mathematician, right? I just like to get educated about tax laws, but the tax software definitely calculates that. All right. So section 179, expensing has increased. All right. The maximum deduction raised to $2.5 million. All right. Now, I briefly went over these tax law updates. So again, if you have not already filed your taxes, y'all, make sure that y'all are aware of these things. Now that you know about the One Big Beautiful Bill and how this is actually affecting 2025 tax returns, right? I really have enjoyed like preparing taxes this year because I see like a lot of people are getting a lot more money. So that's always great. But you have to make sure that you position yourself in the right way so that your financial situation can be different. All right. So, information alone doesn't just change your bank account, right? I feel like people have to be big on execution. You can know about everything I talked about today, but you have to put a plan in place. All right. So let's take some of this knowledge and turn it into real wealth together. Now, I told you that I merged like two separate presentations together. So now we're going to go ahead and hop into detailed information about the Trump accounts. All right. So another brief disclaimer. This presentation is for educational purposes only. It does not constitute legal tax or investment advice. Individual circumstances vary. Always consult a qualified professional before acting on any information presented. Growth examples are estimates, not guarantees. I want you guys to know I got this stuff directly from the website. Every family situation is different. This is not a political discussion. This is not investment advice. This is financial education. And my goal is to give clarity and not hype. All right. So you already know a little bit about me. What I do, I love helping individuals and families understand the tax code, reduce tax liability, and most importantly, build long-term wealth and not just file tax returns. All right. Why I care about financial education. A lot of people I encounter were never taught how money really works, right? From the way that, our parents or grandparents or great grandparents thought about money and, stuff like that is totally different from what a lot of us think these days. All right. So we have to make sure that we transfer that education to the next generation as well. When families understand the rules, they can change their future, and taxes impact wealth more than income. Let's see. Let me move this because I can't see why I'm talking about this. To know me is to know I'm very passionate about these things. And a lot of people want to build wealth, but they just don't know where to start. All right. So the tax code offers so many tools that people never learn about because who wants to sit up and read about the tax code all day? Nobody really wants to do that, but there's so many things that are in there. And I want you guys to know that with the One Big Beautiful Bill, the Trump accounts are one of the tools that were introduced to create generational wealth. So, my approach, education first, strategy over guesswork, and long-term planning. So, let's get into building wealth for our children and understanding these Trump accounts. So, today I'm going to talk about, over the next few slides, I'm going to talk about what the Trump accounts are, who qualifies, how the money grows, real examples for different child ages, and how this fits into your overall tax strategy. So, why does this matter? Because wealth is built with planning, not luck, unless you hit the lottery. Starting early gives your child options later, and small, consistent actions can create big results. So let's talk about what is this Trump account, right? Now, this is a long-term investment account for children, and the account actually belongs to the child. All right. So if you elect to start this account for your child, this account actually belongs to your child. This is not a my mama opened up a checking and a savings account for me, and my mama can go get the money whenever she wants to, and that type of situation. It's not like that. Or my mom can, it's not like that. Like Parents, yes, we can manage it until they're 18, but once these children turn 18, they can fully manage this account, right? So it was designed to encourage early wealth building. I personally had my daughter when I was 18, right? I wasn't thinking about building wealth for her at the age of 18, right? So as a young single mom, I absolutely think that this is amazing because if this was available when my daughter was born, I would have done this, right? So who can have one? Any child under the age of 18 with a social security number. And children born 2025 through 2028 qualify for a government deposit. So it's two separate types of people that qualify, right? You got to be under the age of 18. My kid's 21. She doesn't qualify, right? Um, Now, the $1,000 government deposit, this is how this works. They're going to deposit $1,000 one time for children born between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. This is going to go directly into the child's account and it's going to begin growing immediately. Now, I want you guys to know that since this is still a pilot program, right? We don't know exactly at what growth rate this is going to happen or anything like this, but regardless, I think that this is something that people, should consider doing for their children, right? Now, you may be wondering, okay, so I have a kid that's under 18 or my kid's born in 2025 through 2028, who can actually contribute to this account? Parents, grandparents, family members, employers, as well as anyone helping to build wealth for that child. All right. That might be an auntie, that might be an uncle, right? Right now, there are a lot of employers that have elected to start contributing to like to the Trump accounts, right? Like some people are saying, like, hey, I'm going to contribute to every single child in the state of Indiana. Some people are saying, okay, well, if you work for this company, we're going to contribute if your child has a Trump account. Okay. So this is just like a snapshot of some of the companies that are actually contributing. All right. So I think this is actually really, really good. Now, you may be wondering, okay, well, you know what? You told me that my kid qualifies. You told me that if I work a certain place, that they may qualify or that they may contribute as well. All right. Yeah, my family members can contribute as well. Well, what is the annual contribution limit? So up to $5,000 per child. So through the employers, grandparents, parents, all that good stuff, you can contribute up to $5,000 per child per year. All right. That's the total from all contributions combined. Now, the initial $1,000 government deposit for children born 2025, 2026, 2027, and 2028 does not count towards that limit. So what that means is that if your child was born in those years, you still can contribute $5,000 as well, all right, during the year that they were born. How the money grows, right? Now, again, this is a pilot program. I don't work in Congress. Like, I'm not cool with the president. I'm not cool with the people that are doing this. So I don't actually know exactly how it's going to grow, but they are going to invest this money in the US stock market, index funds, and it's going to happen over time, right? And I want you guys to think about long-term wealth. We talk about generational wealth all the time. People throw that word up, right? This is money that you can put into an account that you cannot touch. Because guess what? When I was 21 years old and my daughter had like a couple of dollars in an account and a bill was due and it was about to get cut off and I didn't have the money, guess what? I was 9 times out of 10, I'm going to go in that account and just be like, okay, well, you know what? We got to worry about this later. But guess what? This is not something that we can do with something like this, right? So that ensures that the money is going to be there for our children at the age of 18. All right. It's just our jobs, as parents and our responsibilities to make sure that we contribute and make sure we allow time um, to grow this money. All right. And let the compounding do the work for us. Now, when can the money be used? There is locked in. They can't do anything until they're 18. All right. Of course, they think they're grown at that age, whatever. It actually is going to convert to an adult investment account at that time, right? So based on the website, they have this cool little app that they are creating, and there will be different lenders or different banks that will have different accounts for these children, right? So to me, it kind of looks like It kind of looks like a Robinhood account, right? And that's just based off the website. And you can always visit that website. It's trumpaccounts.gov. So this money can actually be withdrawn without penalty for education, purchasing a home, or starting a business, right? Think back as a parent, when you were getting ready to go to college or you were getting ready to purchase a home or start a business, right? And you needed to access capital, right? This is money that your child can access and there's no penalty. All you have to do is put something in there, let it grow, right? And it will be available for your child. And it's up to your child if they want it to continue to grow. So why starting early matters? Time matters more than any amount. The earlier contributions actually grow longer. Same money, very different outcomes, right? That is the power of time. So we have to let time do its thing. Now, I want you guys to know this came directly from the website. These are not my projections whatsoever. So they are a little skewed, right? Now, think about this. All right. So let me paint the picture for this table. So if you don't contribute anything, right? So let's just say I have a kid in 2026 and I only, my kid gets the $1,000 deposit, right? And I don't contribute anything for the next 17, 18 years of my child's life. That $1,000 could grow up to $5,800. Again, these are projections, all right? It could be more, right? It could be more, but guess what? It's going to be more than what I would have done on my own, right? So why not have that money there for my child? Now, what we have to do as parents, right? I'm not here to tell anybody how to spend their tax refund. I'm just here to, give a suggestion, right? But what I feel like is, okay, let's see. If you contributed $250 per year, right? $250 per year to your child's Trump account, and they were born in 2026, by the age of 18, they would have $20,000. All right. That's a pretty good amount if I'm only contributing $250 per year, right? Now, for that same child born in 2026, if you contribute the maximum, right, in addition to the $1,000 initial opening deposit, right, that child can have over $300,000, right, by the time that they are 18. That looks like college tuition. That looks like a down payment for a home. That looks like money to start a business, right? Whether you contribute $0, $250, or $5,000, y'all. All right. We got the extra money for our children claiming these tax credits, right? So let's take that and maybe say, okay, well, you know what? Every year when I get my tax refund, I'm going to contribute $250 to my child's account, right? I'm going to let this money grow. I know I can't touch it. So this is just going to be there for my child. Well, as you can see, as the child gets older, this money is only going to compound more and more and more. So maybe your child will want to get this out at 18, or maybe, your child will look at it and say, you know what? I don't really need anything right now. So, I'm just going to allow this to continue to compound over and over and over. So, where it says age 55, and again, I told y'all I got this from the website. The information is inaccurate. It goes from 200,000 to 192,000 to $2.7 million. Again, this is just for illustration purposes. I got this directly from the website, but it doesn't matter, exactly what that potential amount will be, right? How I look at it is it's more than what my child has right now. All right. And so again, it's up to us as parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, family members, whatever, to contribute to this, to grow things for our children, all right, or for our grandchildren. It kind of reminds me, I was talking to another tax professional earlier today. I was talking to Carmen earlier today, and she said something. She said, Ambrea, she said, this reminds me of the savings bond. So I don't know if tax professionals or taxpayers remember, but you could actually contribute money towards savings bonds with your tax refund. So it made sense, but it kind of reminds me of that. But this is just for children, right? So we're just, getting different things like out there. I just want to make sure I educate you guys because a lot of my clients, when I ask them if they want to start a Trump account for their children, they think it's only for children that are born 2025 to 2028. So I want you guys to know at the end of this wealth building strategy session that this account can be started for any child that is under the age of 18. Okay, just 2025 to 2028. That's who gets the $1,000 deposit. All right. So it's key to know that later starts still matter, right? So even if your kid is 5 years old right now, right, and you decide you want to open this account, it is not too late. It is not too late whatsoever. All right. 13 years of savings is better than 13 years of no savings. All right. The worst option is doing nothing, right? There's no point in you sitting here and deciding, you know what, I'm not going to do anything like to help, my child or my grandchild or my niece or my nephew get into a better situation financially, okay? And there are other things that you can do as well. I just wanted to make sure that I educate people about this Trump account so that people know. And also, y'all, this is something that your tax professional can do for you when you actually prepare your taxes, right? This is an election that can be done when you prepare your taxes, okay? So, how does this fit into tax planning? Contributions and planning affect your cash flow. Most families miss opportunities due to lack of guidance. And filing is not the same as planning. All right. You can file your taxes, but if you're really planning your financial future, it looks way different beyond, just filing a Form 1040, right? And common mistakes that people make, only thinking about, the refunds, not thinking about long-term strategies, and not coordinating savings with taxes. To know me is to know I am not a fly-by-night tax professional. I've been doing this for a long time. I take this very seriously. And I'm big on making sure people know what is going on in these tax streets as well as financial education. All right. So, how is the account created? Right. It's not automatic. You have to elect to do this through the IRS system when you file your taxes. Okay, so that's why they say your kid has to have a social security number. And this is why it's important to have a professional to help you out with this. All right, this is tax form 45. This was mistyped on my thing. It's 4547. It must be completed, all right, and submitted. Now, they're expecting to actually launch the accounts July 5th, 2026. Again, this is the website. If you want to get more information or sign up for their updates, trumpaccounts.gov. And basically, as a tax professional, I've already seen this form. You can also even Google it, right? Google IRS form 4547. It's basically asking the child's information. It confirms their eligibility. It triggers the account setup, and it is connected to the IRS system. So this is actually Form 4547. Part one, just information about the child. You want to make sure that you have like a good like permanent address. I know when I was young, like I used to move a lot, and I was renting apartments and like renting houses and stuff like that. So make sure you use a pretty permanent address. Some of us might be like, okay, that's my mom's address or that's my grandmother's address. Somebody who's like there, they're not moving, that kind of thing. You might want to, use something like this for that address. I'm not sure if maybe later they will have, some kind of update address form or anything like that. But you just want to make sure that you stay up to date with this account, right? Because this is something that is going to impact your child's future. You just give basic information about your child. It tells about this in part three that this is a pilot program. And if you want that $1,000 to go into your child's account that is born between 2025 and 2028, and you simply sign it, right? This is not something you should be paying someone to do. This is something that your tax professional should be doing for you. or you can even do it yourself. All right. So that's why I love the profession that I'm in. I love to help families. I love to help people. So tax preparation with strategy. I enjoy long-term planning conversations. Also education and not just paperwork. Like a lot of people have their tax forms and I ask, okay, well, can I see a copy of your taxes last year? And they send me the W-2. And that's when I begin to educate my clients. Like, okay, the W-2 is the form you receive from your employer. Your 1040 is your actual tax return. All right. So also make sure your tax professional is educating you. All right. What working with me looks like, I do offer free tax quotes for clients. So, if you're like, hey, Ambrea, I just found this live, like, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you do, like, what does it look like to work with you? I also file prior year tax returns, but if you're interested in a free quote for 2025, all you have to do is click the link, right? I'm gonna review your full financial picture. To know me is to know that even once you get on the phone with me, it's gonna probably turn into a little mini coaching session as well, because I always like to ask my clients, what they have going on, if they have a business, and letting my clients know that I am here to help. All right. I like to identify tax saving opportunities for my clients and help plan for our children's future. All right. So my services are for parents who want more than a refund, right? Of course, we're talking about building generational wealth. Families focus on wealth building. That is what the big focus is for the digital wealth vault, and people who want clarity and confidence. All right. So if you want help and understanding how this fits into your tax situation, building wealth intentionally, or setting up a plan that makes sense. I'm not here to tell you guys that I know every single thing. That is why I created the digital wealth vault. But one thing's for sure is that I have a community of individuals that have agreed to help me to grow and build this community that are financial experts in different fields. All right. So I'm your girl for taxes and a couple of other things, but I have a network of amazing people who are excited about this community and excited to help you guys. All right. I want you guys to know, even within the digital wealth vault, this is not just about, um, coming in and listen to somebody talk. All right. This is going to be straight action, straight application, straight execution, holding you accountable, a community of individuals who are serious about growth. All right. So again, I offer free tax quotes. If you guys are interested, feel free to click the link. Upload your tax information. My team will schedule an appointment with you. There's no obligation. All right. Y'all see how much valuable free information I give out, right? So tax quotes are free as well, right? I'm not gonna be mad if you decide, oh, you know what, I don't want to file my taxes with you or something like that. I promise you, I'm not gonna be upset. I'm just gonna do my best to give you the best tax quote possible. And if you want to go with me, that's great. If not, that's okay. All right, it's okay. It's okay. But I know a lot of my clients have been with me for a very long time. All right. So make sure you guys join my digital wealth vault community. If you have tax questions, right? A lot of people are like, you know what? I don't know you. I don't want to just give you my information, right? If you want to schedule a free tax consultation, I offer that. They're 20 minutes. Okay. You can click this link or scan this QR code and you can schedule a free consultation. Sometimes people have prior year tax returns, or maybe you have tax debt that you owe, right? We also offer tax debt resolution services. So if you want to chat, feel free to book a free 20-minute consultation. And I look forward to talking to you. Make sure you guys join the Digital Wealth Vault community. This is something I'm super excited about. Again, you're going to get some advanced strategies, expert support, and a community that is actually growing together. All right, y'all not gonna get in my community. I'm gonna try to upsell you on some stuff, right? This is for people who want to take action and looking to get expert information in an affordable space. Okay, that's what this community is for. All right. Inside the Digital Wealth Vault, you're going to get live support and coaching calls, step-by-step guidance on business formation, taxes, credit, wealth building, funding, trust, life insurance, nonprofit, grants. I have so much information in there right now. So you guys got to dive in there, take advantage of that free 7-day trial. Okay. and see what's in there for you. And if you love it, stay inside the community. All right. I'm not asking for too much. I'm just here to share my knowledge, share my resources with each and every single one of you that are open to do it. Of course, if you are already an iTax Solutions client, you're already locked into the community. All right. Because I definitely appreciate each of you, the trust that you put into me, filing your taxes, your children, referring me to other individuals. So make sure you guys scan the QR code or click the link, join the Digital Wealth Vault community. This is going to be happening every single Tuesday. I have wealth building strategy sessions every single Tuesday at 6:30. I just wanted to make sure I give this information to you guys publicly about these Trump accounts, about the tax law updates from the One Big Beautiful Bill. So again, if you guys need help with anything, book an appointment or submit your tax information so that you can get a free quote. Join the Digital Wealth Vault. I'm here to help each and every single one of you guys. If you are not already following me on social media, be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, as well as YouTube. So I'm going to step my YouTube game up as well. All right, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this information. Thank y'all so very, very much for tonight. If you found this helpful, please let me know in the comments. Also, let me know in the comments what else you want me to talk about, right? What experts you want me to bring in, what subjects you want them to talk about inside the Digital Wealth Vault community, all right? Thank you guys so, so very much. Again, I really, really appreciate it. This is my first time going live from my Zoom account. So I'm not sure exactly how to end the Zoom on Facebook, but let's see. Okay, let's see. I think that's it. All right. So if you guys are inside the Zoom, I'm going to go ahead and answer y'all's questions here. All right. So if you guys are on Facebook, again, thank you so much for watching. I'm signing off. My name is Dr. Ambrea Lacy. If you have any questions, reach out. I am here to help. Okay, let's see.